Hi, my name is Yerin Kim. This is my research proposal titled Social Media, Body Image, and Mental Health in Adolescent Girls. I focus on how Instagram and YouTube relate to how girls around 17 years old in an Ontario public high school feel about their bodies and their mental health. Adolescent is a key time for identity and self esteem, and many girls are online every day. Because of that, it's important to ask how constant exposure to influencer, edited images, and appearance focused content might shape how they see themselves. This study looks at girls' everyday social media experiences and how these might influence their body image, how happy they are with their appearance, and how they think others see them. Instagram and YouTube are highly visual platforms filled with idealized and edited photos and videos. That environment can create pressure to look perfect and to carefully manage what you post. Negative body image is linked to low self-esteem, anxiety, low mood, and disordered eating. Understanding the role of social media can help families, schools, and mental health professionals support girls more effectively. The proposal is guided by two main research questions. The primary question is how does exposure to Instagram and YouTube content relate to adolescent girls' body image concerns? The secondary question is how do adolescent girls describe the pressure they feel around appearance in relation to their social media use? For research question one, the main independent variable is exposure to Instagram and YouTube content. I define this as how often girls use these platforms, what kind of contents they see, like beauty, fitness, what I eat in a day, or body positive accounts, and how much they engage, for example, by posting selfies, editing photos, or interacting with appearance focused channels. The main outcome variable is body image concern, which includes body dissatisfaction, appearance-related social comparison, and self-objectification, seeing their body mainly from an outside, judgmental perspective. These ideas come from existing body image scales in the literature and will also show up in how girls describe feeling good or bad about their appearance. For research question two, the key construct is perceived appearance pressure. I define this as girls' own experiences of feeling judged, needing to look perfect, comparing themselves with influencers or peers, and feeling pushed to edit or carefully curate their image and videos. This pressure will be captured through the interview questions and then coded into themes such as trying to match influencer standards or feeling judged by likes or comments. Previous research usually find that more time on image-focused social media is linked with more body dissatisfaction. Girls who frequently see idealized images often end up feeling worse about their own bodies. Studies also shows that girls compare themselves to influencers, celebrities, and friends online. This constant comparison can make them feel like they do not measure up. Repeated exposure to edited and filtered image can lead to self-objectification, where girls start to see their bodies mainly as objects to be judged. That is associated with anxiety, low mood, and in some cases, disordered eating symptoms. Even with lots of research, some important gaps remain. Most studies are correlational, so they show a relationship between social media and body image problem, but cannot prove that social media directly caused them. Many focus on overall screen time rather than specific types of contents like beauty, fitness, dieting, or body positive posts, so we know less about which content is more harmful or helpful. There is also less work on YouTube and fewer qualitative studies that carefully listen to older girls on stories. Some recent studies suggest body positive or diverse content can be protective, but this still needs more exploration, something this proposal aims to support. This is a mixed method proposal. I combined what existing studies show with new qualitative interview. That way, broad patterns from the literature can be connected to real experiences. In PACE 1, I would conduct a targeted review of peer-reviewed research on social media and body image in adolescent girls, summarizing what is already known, what links between use and body image concerns. In PACE 2, I would interview about 6 to 12 girls around 17 years old from an Ontario public high school. I would use convenience and purposive sampling, recruiting volunteers who identify as girls and use Instagram or YouTube regularly. Data would come from semi-structured one-on-one interview about 30 to 45 minutes long in a quiet, private room at school. I would ask about how often they use Instagram and YouTube, what kinds of contents they see, and specific times when social media made them feel better or worse about their bodies. I would also use how they experience appearance related pressure online, such as feeling the need to edit photos, post only their best angles, or keep up with trends to gain likes and comments. Ethically, participants would give informed consent or assents and parental consent if required. Participant would be voluntary. They could skip questions or stop at any time. I would use pseudonyms in oral records, store data securely, and provide information about schools or counseling supports in case the topic is distressing. For the existing research, I would identify key studies, pull out details like the measures they used and their main findings, and then summarize the overall patterns around social media and body image. For the interview, I would use thematic analysis. I would transcript the interviews, read them several times, create initial code for repeated ideas, such as comparison, pressure to edit, or finding supported communities, and then group them codes into broader themes like constant comparisons, pressure to be perfect, or body positive spaces. Finally, I would integrate both parts, comparing the interview themes with what the literature reports to see where girls' stories conform existing research and where they offer new insights. So, for the timeline and feasibility, this project is designed to be realistic within roughly a 12-week terms. In a week 1 and 2, I would finalize the research questions, refine the proposal, and prepare ethics materials and a draft interview guides. Week 2 to 4 would focus on searching for, reading, and summarizing key articles. Weeks 4 and 5 would be used to finalize interview questions, arrange permissions with the school, and complete the ethic process. In weeks 6 to 8, I would recruit participants and conduct the interview. Weeks 8 to 10 would be devoted to transcriptions and initial coding. Weeks 10 to 12 would focus on integrating the interview themes and the literature and writing of the final report. This slide shows the same timeline in a simple Gantt style chart. Each row represents a phase of a project: proposal and planning, literature review, designing the interview guides and ethics, recruitment and interviews, transcriptions and coding, thematic analysis and integration, and finally writing and revision. The black box shows when each phase is active. Early weeks focus on planning and literature, the middle weeks on interviews and transcriptions, and the later weeks on analysis and writing. The visual makes it clear that tasks are staggered and slightly overlapping, which keeps the workload balanced and shows that the project is manageable for a student over 12 weeks. My final slide lists the main peer review journal articles and academic sources that informed this proposal, all formatted in APA 7 style. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.